on the outer ring, that'll give you the chart. Which is the definitive edition of the chart now? Come on. Who has the chart? All right, Vance, what?
You want the structure, the
Please.
introduction, paragraph 1.
Introduction, paragraph 1.
And non-being 2 through 11.
Non-being 2 through 11.
And being, paragraph 12.
All right. Being, paragraph 12. All right. Everyone agree with this? Okay, someone give me another definitive edition. That outer table had a hard time.
Christian God in 1.
Give me your overall structure.
Okay, please. Question of God 1 and 2.
Question of God 1 and 2. All right.
Universality in 3.
Universality. What's your overall structure? Could you just give me the figure
well,
block,
what
please?
do? That's between 3 or 4 to 11 is care and finiteness as God in life.
Care and finiteness is what?
As God in life.
As God in life. All right.
12 is limits and drives.
12 as limits and drives. Okay, someone else.
The first 3 you raised the question, or I call that prelude.
All right.
I don't know what the middle part of the great symphony is. I haven't got the word there, but from 4 through 11 is that central portion of the symphony, and then 12 is the finale.
All right. Okay. This is the symphony and the finale. All right. Now we've got a little difficulty here with the introduction. What is the introduction to this?
The rationale I use for that helpful. The first one raised the actually gives the question. The second one gives context to the question. The third one gives the relevance to the question.
All right. Therefore, you've got several beats here. Now, what do you notice in the first 2 paragraphs you do not notice in the third one? All right, the word God and the word faith. However, this is related to the total picture. Here in the first one, he's trying to, I want to talk about that reality I'm pointing to with the term G-O-D here. Bang, bang. Now, then he shifts over. How does paragraph 3 start? Every human being. You move into here. In other words, he shifted from pointing to the term with the term G-O-D. And I think it's utterly essential some way that you begin here to talk about this man is going to be pointing to that going on, to that reality, to that taking placeness that you point to with the term G-O-D. Just like you point to that taking placeness, that going on-ness with the term scratching, to this going on-ness here. Now, you want to call another name, that's fine, but this is the going on-ness we usually point to with the term scratching. Now, what is the going on-ness we're going to be pointing to with the term G-O-D? This is the way the man uses language in present, any 20th century man would. So here he raises the question, what is that reality going on-ness I'm going to point to with the term G-O-D? Now, if a man has an introduction and a body, and somebody says the finale, what is this usually called? Conclusion. A conclusion. All right, what is 3 in relationship to the rest of the body? Huh? A what? A thesis. A thesis. All right. What else? Now, you said 3 through 11 is a unit in itself. What is that? What is 3 in relationship to the rest of it?
Introduction.
What? A hooker, a link, a thesis. What else? A preface, a prelude. What else? All right. Okay, here's a guy going to tell you what he's going to tell you about it. Here. So at this point, here, I don't know what you want to call it. You want to call it an introduction to the rest of it, a prelude. You call this an introduction, and this is a preface. If this is a preface, then this would be an introduction. Anyway, here is the main category out of which he's going to be presenting the rest of this. How does he start out? Paragraph 4.
In the first place.
All right, in the first place. So here, something went on, out of which now he's going to describe it a boom, 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 boom. How many boom, booms are there? 5. All right, where are they? Okay, you got it.
What is 9/11?
Huh?
Careful
All
tomorrow.
right. So somebody read the paper. Okay. What's the next one? Huh?
Oh.
All right. Then what?
Lord.
Then what?
No.
All right. And then what?
Lord.
Okay. Now, why did you say those? Huh?
They're underlying.
I asked for them. Oh, I did. Well, how did I ask for them and you got what I asked for? Oh, it was. By golly. You know, it's an underline. Well, that's something. Well, put the underline over here then. Hey, that's interesting. All right. Now, this is the preface, or the prelude, or the introduction to that. Here he's at this point, he's I want to talk about God. And then, whoop, he flips it over, and under the category care, he lays out what he's going to lay out here. Therefore, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in relationship to care. Care. Well, yeah. Hey, that's great, isn't it? It's the care. It's the forms or actualizations of this one category. All right, now, how did you say he starts this out? Some of you taught this damn paper before. Okay. Every human being, huh? All right. Now, what about every human being? No. Or can know what? All right, it's finitude. Hey, how does he start all 12?
It is.
All right, God does what?
It's finite.
All right. Okay. Now, what does when you hear the word finite, what image just pops to your mind? Limits. Depth. Boundaries. What?
Box.
You. William. Okay, what else pops to your mind? End. All right. All right, now you said every human being can know about its death, its end, its William, its boundaries. Now, how can a man make a statement like that? Do you have a statistical analysis of everything? Huh? Did he have a Gallup poll that was 100% complete?
He had a course in philosophy.
Oh, I see. And what did they talk about, that course in philosophy?
Oh, he's just being arrogant.
Always being arrogant. Where did he get the courage to be arrogant? Huh? His model. All right. Now, where did he go to get data for his model?
He looked within himself.
All right. If I said every human being goes to the bathroom or should go to the bathroom, where would you say I found out by
Very long.
Okay. Joe said you got to deal with certain groups certain ways. All right. Now, what is it that every human being knows or can know? What?
Fine.
It's imperfect. What the hell does that mean? Huh? Well, that's not much help, though, is it? He's driven.
He doesn't come off all the time.
All right. Every human being either knows or can know about finiteness for how? All right. Consciously or unconsciously, no matter how much of a vegetable or how loose it is, this is what happens to that person. All right. What is it, Robert? You said back again.
Driven.
He's driven. All right, you just look at that. Every human being knows or can know about his finiteness because consciously or unconsciously he's driven. This way or that, this way or that. Here, the driven, the cares, every man knows, finite and perfect up against here. Here's the clock coming around to 13 some way. Okay, all right. So every man knows this, either consciously or unconsciously, because he's driven. Now he fills that driven up with content. How does he fill it up? Just quickly. Go ahead. What else does he know in the midst of being driven?
Never be perfect.
All right, never be perfect. What else?
This way and that way.
This way and that way. Yes, yes, yes. What else? Never controls himself finally. All right. Okay, now, how he's driven this way and that by what?
Careful.
Care. And what are the what's the synonym for care here?
Anxiety.
Anxiety. Desire.
Worry.
Worry. Okay. Your anxiety. Desire. What else? Worry. All right. You got the picture? What's a good theological word for anxiety, which is a psychological word? Dread. The blues. What would be some colloquial expressions? Misery. Life's got me down. What? Life's got me down. Every human being knows that. All right, he's driven this way and that by the care. The fears, if you want to be an indefinite fear, or like anxiety, you just feel no anxiety. You know, no object, nothing. It's just a dread, the anxiety. You're just sitting in a room and suddenly the bottom falls out. You know, you're just engulfed, eaten up on every side, this way and that. You can't maybe name it this here or that. Boom. Okay. Now he's going to spell out what this is. You see, he's made the statement. Every human being knows or can know. Or this guy's just pointing. Hell, he's not arguing. He's just saying, look. Now he's going to begin to look. Care, first of all, for what?
Moral.
Well, moral. What are the three P's there? All right. Man in his life has done what? What happens to man here? What about his life? Huh?
It's uncertain.
What?
It's uncertain.
It's uncertain.
Taken up.
Taken up. Taken up with the three P's. Now, the provision, the providing, and securing. Provision, preparation, providing. Provision, preparation, provided. Securing, preparation, provided. Securing, preparation, boom, 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 boom. But what does he know?
I'm not sure.
All right. That he cannot finally wrap his life up, can he, with the three P's? All right. Therefore, every man knows the guy in this story was a fool, doesn't he? Fundamentally, he knows that. But what does he keep on doing?
Providing,
All right,
preparing.
providing, preparing, and preparation. And then it suddenly comes up. All right, now you've got the picture here of this guy, and everyone knows this, knows he's a damn fool if he goes ahead trying to make life secure with the three P's, but he's going ahead with the three P's, and finally when he gets to that point, like that, what happens in the story?
Plug's full.
Plug's full. And how does that plug being full in this paragraph?
He died.
He died. He goes to 6 foot hole in the ground. Now, is this guy walking along, you know, and suddenly the time bomb blows up and he's just disintegrated?
The Lord says.
Huh?
The Lord says.
He did. What did he say?
Your soul is required of you.
He did. And how did that come to?
Good live for many years. This night I
What was that, Bob?
Thou fool.
Oh, okay. Oh, idiot! Huh? This night thy soul's required. All right, now then, what's the next thing inside, as you said? All right. Sort of like Mr. Beaumont just standing there nonchalantly with his pointer saying, what?
This mysterious power,
What?
God.
What is that mysterious power? What kind of power is power? What do you see when you hear the word power? What is power in the 20th century use of that word? It makes something.
Here's the tape.
Gives and takes. Huh?
Energy.
Energy.
Yeah.
When you run into power, what do you run into?
Push.
Push it. All right. All right. When you run into power, you have something that pushes back, don't you? Right. Okay. You run into this limit here. And in that running into that situation, Beaumont's standing there at that corner saying G-O-D. All right, now, what happens in the next paragraph, there, quickly? Anybody, that first sentence. 6.
No matter how little life can free itself, it refuses to see in this care what gives life significance.
In what care?
Care of tomorrow. Care of every day.
You mean that my problem is that I don't see just those 3 P's, what life's all about? Significance. All right, when I don't see significance in the provision, providing, preparing, therefore what I do?
Escape.
Where?
First escape is into the longing for the true and beautiful.
What am I? Where am I long for? I'm long for the truth.
Perfect seminar.
What am I longing for when I'm longing for the perfect seminar?
That moment that you can capture, that was great.
What am I after when I'm longing for the truth? All right, what am I longing for when I'm longing for the beautiful?
Rapture.
The rapture. The perfect seminar, huh?
A Norman Rockwell family.
Sunset over Point of Pond.
What would be a word that would hold your illustrations here? What usually in our day would we say we find everybody going after when they're going after beauty? Fulfillment.
Order.
Okay. Just seek a little hunk of happiness or peace or fulfillment or harmony or something. Just to get one perfect seminar under my belt. And then what about the truth?
Be sure of something. Find
Good Lord, yeah, just to get some sort of answer that's not filled full of worms. Now, what happens here? Precisely when I'm after this, what does he say in that little couplet there? Every pleasure seeks to be embedded in eternity, but yet in 7 I see that what? You're running too slow tonight.
Life isn't granted in eternity.
All right. Tick, tick, tick. What happened to that perfect seminar?
Back there.
All right, it's back there. Or it's up there, one of the other. Okay. What happened to that answer?
Words.
Okay, precisely then, if you just hang on to that moment, but you're never granted the pleasure of the moment of eternity or the eternity of pleasure. And Bourbon's standing there with a pointer saying what?
Gone.
What?
That's gone.
He did? Is that what he said? Huh? What did he say?
God controls her.
That what?
God controls her.
Did he say that?
Power which controls.
All right, that going on there, that pushing backness, that happening, taking place, that's what he's pointing to with the term G-O-D, huh? Okay, now here you were, you didn't make it in everyday life. You climbed the heavenly ladder and you got your nose pushed back in the pile. Then what do you do here in 8?
Well, at least I got a few friends.
Sure, you can join a fellowship class, can't you? Okay, and then what happened? What?
Double casket.
No casket.
Double casket.
Oh, no double.
Double
All right.
casket.
What do you see here? What's the going on that he's pointing to here? All right.
That Sylvia's no double casket. I never thought about the horror, of the Indian women throwing themselves on their husbands at their funeral.
Precisely at the moment where you see that you can fend off death, and this is what he's saying here, with fellowship, what takes place. What's he talking about in 9? shoved into?
Solitude.
All right, final solitude. And when you bump up against that final solitude, what's Boulmont doing? In here. What's he saying? All right, he's saying that going on. This is what I'm pointing to, the term GOD. All right, what about knowing and doing? What here? Knowing, what does he say at this point? What?
Mike's motivated by that search,
All right, and what do I see in that motivation?
Can't know it.
All right, I see finally that I nothing know, as he puts it. Then what about the doing? What do you see there?
Building your grave.
All right, now in that Faust story, what's he getting at there? What's Faust doing? What's Boulmont trying to push us to see? The story is clear. Faust, blind, hears the spades and sees, thinks he's building this great edifice of the glory of Faust, and wakes up seeing him digging in his own grave. Now, what's he pointing to there? How would you bring that into what our spades are?
Even though I have my eyesight, if I get myself involved in some kind of task, doing something, that's precisely where I'm going to be the blindest about my death.
All right. Now, therefore, in the blindness about your death, go ahead now. What happened to Faust here?
It's as if he was living his life and there was some sort of fourth dimension that he never saw, but always knew in the back of his mind was there. And the spades in that fourth dimension suddenly revealed, as if one of those magic walls just turned around like you see in the movies, and there's Brother Death there. He knew he was there all the time. He knew there was somebody else living in the house with him. He knew who it was. The wall was there flipped around.
Okay.
And since he's handling the spades,
What?
and since he's been handling the spades all the time, he's been digging the grave all the time. And then he suddenly wakes up to see it.
All right. What are some of our spades, if you want to use it in that way?
A social enthusiast who sees himself on the edge of a great national spirit movement and finds out that it's rotted out from under him.
All right.
The
Hey, what are some
paper I
more?
wrote got worked over by the corporate minister.
The what?
The paper I wrote got worked over.
Oh, okay. What else?
Well, he sees that he has been fighting all of the real things in life, want and guilt and care. And then when Carlos's wall turns around, he sees that death grabs him. Well, who's that? David's.
All right. Then in the midst of want, guilt, and care, what has he been doing?
Longing for the true and the beautiful.
All right. Now, say that's back here. How is this different from this? Been dreaming about it.
The way it comes to me is that it's just a surprise. You know, you're going out and you're doing what needs to be done, and my God, you know, the possibility of your life is gone, or the time is gone, and behind that is the fact that there's your death again. And it always comes as a shock. I mean, you know, as you go about engaged in what you're doing, death seems so far away that it's wow.
Yeah, that's the question with brother, it seems to me. The minute you see that, you recognize it. Maybe your long lost brother, you recognize it, just like that.
The way it comes to me is that you're always trying to earn your immortality, and when you really are aiming for death.
It's like the message has a time limit.
He thinks that all the things he's done and all the things he knows is going to get one sublime happiness now, and then he's faced with the reality that it's gotten him his death.
Therefore, anything it can pick up the spade, can it not?
Yeah, and the point has to be that Faust has been contending with what life is all about: want and guilt and care.
In the midst of that, he almost made it. What? What's here over against these others? What's he trying to find? The brother death came through.
Completion.
Huh?
Completion. All right. Complete life
All right.
Now, if you don't make it in your work, what can you always do? Huh?
Do the things ought to do.
All right. Yeah, this going on is here when I hit that six, that brother death appears, he points to the term G-O-D. Then I finally, he had, and incidentally, these sure peculiar order, are they not? Here, when I don't make it with the 3 P's, and I strive for long, the true, and beautiful, I don't get that, then I get a hunk of love, I don't do that, well, I can always know, take another course or something, but I don't get that, well, I can always work hard, but then other than that, then finally I can be what?
Cast iron. Oh.
I can always be good, can't I? But then what happens? Huh?
Yeah.
Guilty.
Guilty.
You're under arrest.
You never escape from your sense of failure. All right. Even when the task has come off well, still there's that gnawing sense of inconsistency.
Okay, now what are the 3 words he used there at the bottom that breaks in upon you? All right, the summons of the you all that brings the small, incomplete, and wretched. He's standing there with a pointer saying what? With that going on? God. All right. So here's where we've got. All right, now if you want to take here from 3 through 11, what terms would we here with God the what on this to give this a title? Come on, you poets. God the what?
I wouldn't put it that way.
All right,
I would describe something and then say God.
all right, go ahead. Put it the way you'd like to put it.
I'd say the power which limits, then God.
All right. The power which limits is God. God the limiter, man, or the power which limits. Anyway, huh? Someone else.
God's the power.
What kind?
God's the power.
Now, is that faithful to Bullman at this point?
God's the push puller.
Now, is that faithful to him at this point?
No.
Are you doing this, God's the slammer.
Huh?
God's the slammer.
The slammer, all right. What else?
Destroyer.
Huh? Destroyer?
Man-eater.
The what?
Man-eater.
The man-eater? All right. Well, you all are poets here. Now, what else?
The weight.
The weight?
The weight. W-A-Y.
All right. What kind of weight?
Power.
Huh? Now, say some gang jumps you out there tonight and rips you up the back with a knife and beat hell out of you and rips your clothes off of you. What do you say? Huh? Okay. Huh? All right, the ripper. Okay. Huh? Mysterious plug puller. All right. Okay. Now, what would be some biblical names that you'd use here?
Biblical.
Huh? God the what? Yah. Yah. All right, what else?
Omnipotent.
All right, now say that's a little too broad at this moment.
Devil.
Huh?
Devil.
God the devil?
God, the pack of locusts.
The pack of locusts? All right.
Fire.
Now, you're using, all right, go ahead.
Lightning stroke.
Huh?
Bill Gross said that. He said the Assyrians.
All right, what about God the what?
Ever-present labor.
The enemy, all right. What else?
The whale provider.
The what?
The whale is swallowed Jonah.
All right. What else? The name. Opposite what?
The Goddammer.
One, all right. One, Dan.
Are these biblical?
What was a biblical name that you put on it, okay?
biblical.
So did some others.
Still.
What? What?
Well, I kept still because I thought we were supposed to dig into the Bible.
Go ahead, break silence.
I like God's a big fool, but.
Well, that's a new way to translate certain Hebrew. Okay, all right. Now, what other biblical words here? Come on.
Judge.
The judge, all right, what else? The wrath, what else? Destroyer, what else? All right, okay, what else?
Outer darkness.
All right. All right. Now, say it again. Who said that? You know, I thought Bob's voice was real still and small Wednesday, didn't you? Okay, someone read the first sentence here. 12.
God will make man finite.
All right, 3.
Who makes a comedy of man's care.
5.
Who allows his longing to miscarry.
7.
Who casts him out in solitude.
All right, 9.
Who sets the terminus to his knowing and doing.
10.
Who calls him to duty.
Go ahead.
And who gives the guilty over to torment.
11. Okay. Now here's your summary, of course, to this in 12, the first sentence, and which he points to that activity that he's going to point to with the term GOD. This is a summary of this whole section. Now, in this section, he's pulled out the whole dimension of where the power that limits is brought into play with that to which he's pointing with the term GOD. Now, and let's shift here to the second sentence. What do you have? And yet. What comes to your mind with the and yet?
The universe is spinning around one way, and all of a sudden it pauses momentarily. It's going to spin the other way.
All right. Go ahead.
It's going to drive the other way. Oh. It is God who forces man into life
All right.
and drives him in care.
Right.
He puts longing and desire to love in his heart. He gives him thoughts and strength for his work. And who places him in the eternal struggle between self-assertion and duty.
Okay. Here's the forces man, drives him, puts longing, puts love, gives thought and work, places him in the eternal situation out of which he is. And on the other side, we have that which cut off, 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 which cut off. All right, now this situation as you have it here is the kind of synonyms that you could point to this. What would be some of them? What kind of going on would you point to be in this particular place? And this is bang bang.
Frustration.
Frustration. What else? What do you call being in this kind of a situation? What do you call it? Hell. What else? Life. What else? What? Loss. What else?
Trust.
Huh?
Trust.
Thrust.
Crush.
Darkness.
CR.
C-R-U-S-T, okay.
Crutch.
There.
Burn.
Huh?
Burn. Like on fire. Burn.
Burn. What kind of going on this do you call this? Huh? What does the man in the street call it? dirty
Wait.
pool.
Way the cookie crumble.
The way the cookie crumbles,
The way your number comes up.
all right, the number comes up.
Bad news.
What?
Rotten.
Bad news,
Bad luck.
bad luck,
Down and out.
down and out.
Been screwed.
All right, screwed. Okay. Now, what Bullbon has done at this point is manipulated us to the position to where we can see this kind of going on this. And every one of us know damn good and well the kind of going on this that he's pointing to. Now, at the end of this point here, then it comes to the question. He says, here's what he points to with the term GOD. And the question always comes then at this point, what do you point to here what do you name this going on? What do you call it? What did he say back up here in 2?